Greetings, I'm back, coming at you with another video via 13scienceastrology.com, exclusive information. You know, if you like what you see here, definitely feel free to refer somebody to these videos. This is exclusive information that is not on YouTube, so let's get right into it. Doing this video on a subject that a lot of people kind of know about it, but they don't know about it all at the same time. This is a group of beings, and I call them the Council of 24. That's what I call them, the Council of 24. Now, those of you, I'm going to help you to understand them on different levels so that you can know exactly who they are, and I'm going to go through this, you know, pretty quickly. They've been introduced to you in many different aspects of society and our culture and popular culture. Now, the most notable and most popular introduction that they have is in the Bible. Believe it or not, this council is in the Bible, and they're called the 24 elders. And if you remember, the 24 elders were talked about in the book of Revelations. There was 24 elders, and these elders sat on various thrones, and they represented various tribes. I'm not going to go into the whole story of what they mean in Revelations here, because this is the Council of 24 101. I'm probably going to do a part 2 to help you to go more in depth to understand each individual elder. But they're introduced in the Bible up under the name of the 24 elders. Now, those of you that have any type of black Muslim or Nation of Islam type of background, or even those of you that have a Nubian background, you know them as the 24 scientists. You know them as the 24 scientists, and many of you know that Dr. York, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, mainly those two individuals taught about these 24 scientists. Now, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught that basically the 24 scientists made up a council, and one out of those scientists, one member out of that council, acted as what you would call Allah and governed over the whole council itself. Whereas Dr. York, he talks about the 24 scientists, and what he talks about is that he gives you the names of each individual scientist. So he calls them the 24 scientists. Now, let me go into some indigenous culture. Now, in the indigenous culture, according to Credo Mutwa, these 24 elders, or 24 beings, are 24 different species of creatures that live on this planet. One of them being humanoid, but the other 23 being different types of creatures that look nothing like me and you. Now, he talks about, and this, keep in mind, he's an initiate and an elder shaman, and he's the chief shaman of his tribe, and this information was passed on to him. What he talks about is, and I want to use his example mostly to do this video, he talks about how these 24 scientists were basically always on this planet, and they were on this planet before human beings ever got here. So what a lot of people don't realize is that when you deal with your indigenous culture, especially like in your South Africas and your West Africas, you start dealing with the shamans and, you know, and the priests and all of that. They know about what you would call extraterrestrial beings. So these are who these 24 scientists were. These are a group of beings that have been on this planet long before humans got here. Your Africans know about them. Like I said, your South Americans, your Mayans know about them. I mean, they all were known. Now, what a lot of people are doing is, I did a video called Extraterrestrial Beings to kind of introduce you to this. What a lot of people are doing is, when they start to deal with the 24 different races that are on this planet, they are confusing these races for aliens. That's right, for aliens. So they're saying that, and I'm not saying that there are aliens, but really, on the truest sense of the word, these are your original Earthlings. Most of these creatures that are a part of this 24 elder council are actually they were at one point living in different star constellations and different planets, but they moved to this planet before you as a human even got here. And the government and everybody else knows about these creatures, these 24 creatures. Now, they're not aliens, but many people want to call them aliens. And I'm going to give examples of who they are in a minute. A few examples. I'm not going to go into everything here, but I'm going to give a few examples of who they are and what purpose they serve. Now, lastly, I want to submit something that's very important to let you know that the powers that be and the elites know about them. And this is how you know the elites know about them. Those of you that are Trekkie fans, Star Wars fans, excuse me, not Trekkie fans, but Star Wars fans, you know about the council that they had. It was like I think it was called like the Republic Council or something like that. But this council was basically had, if you remember, when they met, it had like different creatures that sat on this council. And this council was basically the council that composed those that were with the light side, or the light workers, if you want to call them that. And they had different creatures that was part of this council. And you remember in Star Wars in general, they had different races in Star Wars. They had different, alien-looking races that played in Star Wars. Now, what many people don't realize is, and this is according to Credo Mutwa, he said, Credo Mutwa teaches that he never, according to him, in his interview with David Icke, he talks about how he never seen Star Wars before he got introduced to American culture. He said when he saw Star Wars, it blew his mind because he couldn't believe that those creatures that they put in the movies, he said these were the same creatures that he knew about as a shaman, that they, these same creatures and the information about these creatures was passed on to him based upon his initiation into becoming a shaman. So those people, those writers that put together Star Wars, George Lucas and other individuals, obviously knew and put these creatures inside of Star Wars as a message to let you know that there are other creatures that live on this earth. See, what people fail to realize is they talk about Star Wars and they're flying intergalactically and things of that nature, but mostly everything about Star Wars is really talking about what's going on right here on planet Earth. And that's for another video and for another time, and maybe I can go into a little bit of decoding about Star Wars. But saying all that to basically say that these 24 this council of 24, these 24 elders, these 24 scientists are very real. They've been documented throughout all of your religious texts. A lot of people know about them. All of your shamans and priests know about them. And it's something that's kind of kept a secret from the mass population. Now, there you have your Bigfoots, what you would call Bigfoots. Some people call them Shaggies. People call them Yetis. They're a part of this council. They have another group called the Danakil that are part of this council. The Deros are part of this council. The Tyros. These are all different so-called alien races that I'm naming here. And I have to do separate videos to help to decode who exactly these different alien races are. You have your reptilians are part of this council. Your gray species are part of this council. And all of basically what this council is, it represents all of the different species that were used to create Homo sapiens, or human beings, in our current state. Because what people fail to realize is, and I've said this a million times in other videos, human beings are a compilation of 23 different alien races. And all of these races were actually here on this planet before human beings got here. And this is something that really needs to be understood by a lot of people, because when they start dealing with the whole alien thing, they kind of like separate humans from certain aliens, when in actuality humans are a compilation of all of these different alien groups in one. And this is why the human has the potential to be the most powerfulest being in this galaxy. For that reason alone, because of the fact that you got to look at it like this. If I got your style, if I put together all of these different martial arts styles, like every martial arts style that there is, and I combine them into one, what have I done? Not only have I created my own style of martial arts, but not only just that, but I actually can have mastered every single other style that there is, which means that I'm invincible because I have all of the different styles combined and put together in one. And this is what human beings are. So when you start talking about aliens and, people being scared of them and they're more powerful than us and all of that, yeah, they might be more powerful than us only because we are not living to our fullest potential in our conscious state because of what the Anunnaki did to us. And for those of you that don't know, the Anunnaki, I did other videos on YouTube about this, but the Anunnaki put us up under what they call the spell of Kingu, and basically put us up under quarantine to where our powers were limited, and we don't have access to higher dimensions and higher planes and higher powers. So that's why we're limited, but that's getting ready to be lifted at the end of this year. So we as humans now are about to reach the final frontier. We have the power to become the chiefs and the leaders of the races here in this galaxy. And this is very, very key. So when you deal with the Council of 24 Elders, and there's actually a human that sits on the council as well. It always has to be a human, and it's basically a representative from each of the different races that are on this planet. Humans being one of them. So that's where you get the 24. So representation of different races that took part in the cloning and the breeding of Homo sapiens. But not only just that, but the races that basically live here, and they represent a council. And just like any other thing, you have the UN, you know, just like the UN represents all the nations on the planet. It's just the same thing or whatever. It's just like the UN where, you know, they made all meet and they basically vote and talk about things to basically bring equality, justice, and balance to the planet based upon what all the species agree upon. So this is what, now they might not all agree 100%, but they all have to come together in this council, and this council is what holds and keeps the peace here on this planet. So the Council of Immortals, or it's not really, actually the Council of Immortals is something else, excuse me. The Council of 24 is something that's very important. It's very important because it keeps peace and balance here on this planet. So that's what's basically going on with it. I mean, that's why it's important. That's why it's important for us humans to really get into understanding the council and understanding exactly what it is, because now we are being initiated into this council or whatever. We have already really been initiated into it, but now it's going to be like your average layman and laywoman are going to get a knowledge of what's going on with these different species on this planet. They have different civilizations on this planet. According to intelligence agencies, they call them different levels, like level 1, level 2, level 3, different civilizations that exist on this planet. See, and this is what they've been hiding from people. Like, it's not only just the surface, but then you have, like, and I've talked about this before, in the earth, you have different layers in the earth, and then each layer is a different civilization. So we live on the surface, or the outer part, which is really the most primitive part, believe it or not. But you got, like, beings that live in different layers and pockets of the earth. And then you got caverns. There's 8 different caverns, as I talked about in other videos as well. So when you start dealing with this or whatever, humans are going to become more privy of what's going on here. When I say humans, I'm talking about your average human. Now, the group that you call the Illuminati or the elites, or those that, you know, the Council of 13 and the higher-ups, even past them, they know about these other civilizations. And what people fail to realize is that the elites and Illuminati are not the most powerful group on this planet. By far, they're not. They're just the representatives of humans. But then you have these different species that exist within the earth, and then in the pockets of the earth and things of this nature, and they are very much, the Illuminati has to very much report what they do to this council or whatever. So really, whenever the council sees fit, which they've already voted on, the Illuminati is going to lose power over the surface, and that's already been decided. But what's happening right now is that what's keeping it back and what's holding it up is the fact that humans don't want to basically rule themselves again. So that's what's keeping the Illuminati in power as far as with this council or whatever. But the council already agreed and told the representatives of the elites and the Illuminati, what you call the Illuminati, is like, yo, you need to go ahead and initiate these people and teach these people what's really going on or whatever, so that this planet will be in balance and in justice. And this is why you have a lot of different elite members and all that teaching on being green and teaching on the UFOs and just teaching on a lot of borderline new age topics, you know, honoring the planet and stuff like that. That's because the Council of Immortals, that rule over them. See, that's what people realize. It's a group that rules over them. They've already, I keep calling it the Council of Immortals. The Council of 24 has already basically initiated, has already gave them the knowledge and the information and passed this on to the Illuminati and told them to pretty much initiate humans into this higher order and to basically start honoring the planet again. Because what we're doing to the planet, this is why, what we're doing to the planet is basically destroying, it's destroying the quality of life for those other alien races that live in the planet and things of this nature. So what we're doing here on the surface is affecting them. So this is why they're like, yo, you're going to have to either get these humans right, they're going to have to start living in tune with nature, or basically we're going to have to wipe out the majority of them. So this is coming from the council. So when you hear the Illuminati talk about we want to wipe out 2/3 of the population and all of that, see, what you fail to realize is there is a council of 24, and this is different from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. Keep in mind, the Council of 24 is different from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. This is totally different. This is the Earth Council. So you got an Earth Council, and then you got a Galactic Council. The Intergalactic Council has said some similar things as well too about humans needing to upgrade ourselves, but they're talking more on a celestial level, whereas the Council of 24 is talking more on a terrestrial or planetary level. And basically we need to upgrade ourselves, update our information, begin to live in unison with the earth, stop killing certain animals, throwing off the ecosystem. See, all this stuff is affecting their quality of life too, because these races, a lot of these races, I mean, they're more advanced than us, but I mean, they're very much third dimensional too. They're very much third dimensional. And I'm going to do other videos to help walk you into understanding who these different races are, because the information is out there and it's been pointed out. And I will present it to you based on my research. But basically what I'm doing now is just helping you to understand that there is a Council of 24. It's very much well documented. It's not a myth. Many people know about them. And the thing is that, like I said, the Illuminatis and the elites that you talk about, they are not the end-all be-all, the most powerful beings. You know, these people that are part of these secret societies and lodges and all that type of stuff. People think that this is the top of the New World Order or whatever, but people don't further realize the New World Order is deeper than what you think. There's like over 20 different groups that are over the Illuminati, even higher than them type of thing as far as knowledge and information, and they very much have a say-so what goes on this planet too. So, I mean, the balance is definitely kept here on this planet. I mean, there's definitely a system and a structure of equality and justice that is in play here on this planet. So when people just start to think that these elites can do whatever they want to do, it doesn't work like that. They have to function based on free will and things like that. And really what's keeping the elites in power, we need to stop really talking about the Illuminati, how bad they are, and people need to start looking at themselves. You need to start looking at yourself, because every time you live out of tune with nature, you are the Illuminati. You are the bad guy, really, believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? And these people that are in the Illuminati, most of them are already vegetarians. They don't smoke and drink. They don't do the things that you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't partake and destroy the planet the way that you do, but then you want to talk bad about them because they're talking about killing you and wiping you out. When, I mean, you're just emotional. That's just your ego talking. But you don't want to go and turn around and do the things that you need to do to make yourself better so that you could be at one with nature. And really, if you're at one with nature, you rise above the games and the schemes that the Illuminati has planned for you. So I'm going to do another video on the Illuminati and helping you to understand that too, exactly who they are. So until we meet again, thank you for watching this video. Hope you learned something, and I'll leave you in peace and prosperity.